Well, that makes me happy. They've changed the Cadillac face. You still recognize the kind of car it is, but it no longer looks like it was designed in a cutlery shop. All edges and blades and knives, softened it up. More mature, more expensive looking, I think.
The first Cadillac, I believe, to get rid of that farty old wreath they've had so long, they inspired Caesar to wear one.
As you work your way back, you find more of that understated maturity continuing, but here's where it gets interesting.
Comparing a pair of similar all-wheel drive BMWs to the CT6 with the middle V6, the CT is much more car than a 5 Series, yet at about the same weight. It's closer to the length of a 7 Series, but at a much lower cost. And it beats that 7 on weight by quite a bit, even though the 7 uses a lot of carbon fiber these days. GM uses a lot of aluminum and high-strength steel. The CT6 with the basic V6 slots at the top of all of these in terms of horsepower, though my real interest is in driving a CT with a 2-liter 4. We'll do that in a minute.
Now, a lot of folks have griped about Cadillac CUE over the years. GM's apparently heard them. You'll recognize the layout. However, the response is quite a bit different. It used to be pretty sluggish. Now, it's pretty quick, not just in recognizing your clicks, touches, or taps, but also in loading what it is you called upon. Now, how you do that is either through the touchscreen like you just saw. It's about 10 inches now, beautifully fared into the bezel and the mounting area. But you've also got a touchpad down here, which is used for 1, 2, or 3 finger multi-touch gestures, and it has haptic feedback, but I'm remaining unconvinced about touchpads in general. I just find these fiddly. Now, similar to the video theme here on the main head unit, you've also got an all LCD instrument panel, which allows them to have flexible content there, including a night vision display that can pick up pedestrians and animals. I'm also rather unconvinced about those systems because when they make you look down to avoid hitting something, that's possibly why you're going to hit something. Keep your damn eyes out the road. I'm looking forward to those systems becoming more HUD-driven. Now, Android Auto and CarPlay are stock on all these CT6s, as they should be on just about any car these days. Now, I've saved the best for last, the belle of the ball. The one they had to go to Washington and fight the feds for is this guy. Well, it looks like an old school mirror because it's got the old toggle down here, but look what happens when you hit it. It goes from being a mirror to being an ultra-wide rear view display via video that erases the pillars, headrests, and that high trunk back there. This is what every car should have, and in the future they will. This is not your only rear camera, by the way. You also get this as well as another rear camera here on the screen. It's a different camera, by the way. There's one last video trick I want to show you. If you go here to the CUE system and hit recorder, you get a set of cameras that are invoked to look out and record like a built-in dash cam, except it's not mounted here in the dash, it's mounted front and rear of the body. And it keeps clips for you up to the capacity of your SD card hidden back in the trunk. It's a great event recorder for whatever may happen, and it can be triggered by the car getting a proximity alert or getting bumped when it's parked. I've done the coolie test. I can sit behind myself in this car, which is a pretty good feat because I'm 6'2". Also, they got the headroom right. Big well up here that really carves out a place for your head. It's pretty nice. Know that we're in a Platinum. This is the high-end car with the reclining massage rear seats. Not every CT6 will have these. Now, in terms of the electronics back here, they're doing a very interesting job of evangelizing technology that other car makers have kind of just said, well, it's there, go do what you want with it. Here is an HDMI connector. That's pretty unusual. And next to that is a USB port. What they've done is connected a Google Chromecast. Now, this Chromecast is picking up its data, pulling its video content from the 4G hotspot in the car. But I'm using the Chromecasting ability, in this case from YouTube, to control this guy. It's a thoroughly modern experience. It's pretty rock solid. I'm sitting here on local 4G in San Francisco. This is not buffered once. You can mirror the front head unit to either or both of these screens if you just want to watch the map go by or something. However, you cannot control the front head unit from these screens.
As we mentioned a minute ago, engines range from a 2-liter turbo 4 to a 3.6-liter natural V6 to a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, all with direct injection and fancy valve timing. The V6s also have cylinder shutdown to run on just 4 pots when cruising. And the V6 cars are always all-wheel drive, the 2-liter cars never are. If you want more, a twin-turbo V8 is widely expected, but they're not yet confirming it. On high-trim all-wheel drive cars, you can get an intriguing active chassis package that'll have the magnetic ride control, 20-inch wheels, and rear-wheel steering that'll make high-speed lane changes more stable and low-speed maneuvers tighter. 3 big points come across me on the road in the CT6. Number 1, 2-liter turbo, and I'm loving it. Sound of the 2-liter turbo, I'm not loving. It is unseemly in a car of this stature and quality. That's going to be a misfit for some folks. I'd be okay with it.
Secondly, ride quality. This guy is much more like a Lexus than a BMW or an Audi with that real firm, sporty Teutonicness, but it's different than a Lexus ride. Not sloppy at all. And I've got the standard suspension. With the magnetic ride control, you'd have a lot more adaptability, and the car would probably cut in better and certainly keep itself flatter. Finally, there's a Bose audio system here I didn't talk about when we were looking at other cabin tech. It's called Pan-Array. 34 speakers around the cabin, most of them tiny, just a few inches. There's just one sub on the back deck. Their idea is don't belabor any one speaker, spread it out around many, use digital signal processing to map the cabin. That's not new. And they've got speakers in the headrest like some other cars do, but what they've done is to drive them in a way that you actually won't notice they're there. They simply fill in part of the overall soundscape.
CT6 is available with all the usual active driver assist, including fully automatic braking at low speeds around town. What's not here yet is the long-awaited Super Cruise. That will take over speed management, distance management, and lane control for you on the freeway for extended distances. Doesn't arrive till calendar 2017.
In sum, I think Cadillac has a really good and expensive-looking car here, but not one that beats you over the head with its styling. That's going to work for some folks, not for others. In terms of packaging, they package the hell out of it. In its footprint, it does a lot of great stuff with space for front row, second row, and trunk.
More cars driven CNET style. Standing by now at cnetoncars.com. Click on the road.